Taehyung hesitated in front of the towering glass building, his fingers curling tighter around the strap of his bag. 2 days. It had only been 2 days, but it felt like an eternity. The last time he had seen Jungkook, he had asked for space. And Jungkook had given it to him, without hesitation, without protest. It should have made things easier. It didn't. Because the silence had been suffocating. Because no matter how much he tried to focus on anything else, all his thoughts led back to him. And now, here he was, walking into Jungkook's office as if those 2 days hadn't existed. The receptionist blinked in surprise when she saw him. Taehyung had never come here unannounced before, and the weight of it settled deep in his chest. But he kept his head high as he murmured, "I need to see him." She nodded quickly, pressing a button. "Mr. Jian is in a meeting, but I'll wait," Taehyung said, his voice quieter now. The receptionist gave him a hesitant look before gesturing toward the private lounge. "You can sit there, sir," Taehyung exhaled, then walked inside. The room was quiet. The large windows overlooked the city, but Taehyung barely noticed. Because all he could think about was what he would say when Jungkook saw him. What he would see in Jungkook's eyes. Would it be cold? Would it be unreadable? Or would it be the same quiet patience, the same restrained warmth, as always? The door clicked open. And Taehyung turned just in time to see Jungkook step in. The air shifted. Jungkook's gaze locked onto his instantly, something unreadable flickering in his eyes. His suit was immaculate, his tie loosened just slightly, as if he had been in a long meeting. He looked tired. And yet, the moment he saw Taehyung, he stopped. Taehyung's breath caught. Neither of them spoke. Neither of them moved. And for the first time in days, Taehyung wasn't sure who was holding their breath more. The silence between them stretched, thick and suffocating. Jungkook didn't move from where he stood, his sharp gaze fixed on Taehyung like he was trying to understand why he was here. Taehyung swallowed, his fingers tightening around the strap of his bag. He had rehearsed 100 things to say on the way here, but now, standing in front of Jungkook, nothing came out. Jungkook exhaled slowly, the only sound in the room. Then, finally, "You avoided me for 2 days, Jungkook said, his voice calm, but there was something dangerous beneath it. Something restrained. "Now you're here," Taehyung flinched at the bluntness of it. He hesitated, then forced himself to meet Jungkook's eyes. "I needed time," Jungkook's jaw clenched. And now Taehyung's heart pounded. He hated this. Hated the way Jungkook's voice was so emotionless. Hated that he couldn't tell if Jungkook was angry or just tired. And that realization hurt more than anything. He didn't want Jungkook to be tired of him. "I don't know," Taehyung admitted softly. "But I didn't want to keep avoiding you." Jungkook stared at him, eyes unreadable. Then, after a long pause, he stepped forward. Slow, deliberate. Taehyung's breath hitched as Jungkook closed the distance between them, stopping just a step away. Up close, Taehyung could see the exhaustion in his eyes, the tension in his shoulders. But more than that, he could feel the warmth radiating off Jungkook, even though they weren't touching. "Taehyung," Jungkook's voice was lower now. Softer. And Taehyung hated how much it affected him. "How long do you plan to keep running?" Jungkook asked quietly. Taehyung's throat went dry. Because wasn't that the real question? He had been running. Even if he hadn't realized it before. And now, standing here in front of Jungkook again. He wasn't sure if he had the strength to keep doing it. Because despite everything, Jungkook was still the one person he could never seem to let go of. Taehyung's heart pounded, his throat dry as he struggled to find the right words. Jungkook was too close now, close enough that Taehyung could see the faint dark circles beneath his eyes, the tight set of his jaw. He looked exhausted. And yet, his gaze was unwavering, sharp and piercing as if he was trying to unravel Taehyung piece by piece. "You're not answering," Jungkook said, voice quiet but firm. Taehyung swallowed. "I don't know what you want me to say," Jungkook's jaw clenched. "The truth, Taehyung." A heavy silence stretched between them. Taehyung shifted his gaze to the floor. I needed time to think about what us." The word hung in the air, unspoken for so long yet carrying so much weight. Jungkook's breath hitched, his expression unreadable. And Taehyung hesitated. "And I still don't know what to do." Jungkook let out a slow exhale, stepping back slightly, as if putting distance between them would help ease the ache that settled deep in his chest. "Do you regret coming here?" Taehyung's head snapped up. "No." The answer was immediate, firm, too honest to be ignored. Jungkook's gaze softened for the first time that night. Then stopped running. Taehyung's fingers trembled as he clenched them into fists at his sides. "It's not that easy, Jungkook. It never is," Jungkook murmured, tilting his head slightly. "But tell me one thing, Taehyung." A pause. Jungkook stepped forward again, close enough that Taehyung could feel his breath against his skin. "Do you still want me?" Taehyung's breath caught. His mind screamed at him to lie, to deny it, to protect whatever walls he had built over the years. But his heart betrayed him. "Yes." The word left his lips in a whisper, barely audible, but Jungkook heard it. And for the first time in days, a flicker of something passed through Jungkook's eyes. Relief. Longing. Hope. The room was thick with tension, the kind that had built up over years of silent suffering and unspoken words. Jungkook's gaze never left Taehyung's face, as if he was searching for something, waiting for him to finally admit it. Taehyung's heart was racing, his chest tight, but for once, there was no hesitation in his chest. No fear. Just the raw truth, spilling out before he could stop it. "Yes," Taehyung repeated, his voice barely a whisper, but enough to make Jungkook's chest tighten. "I still want you. I don't know how to explain it, but I do." Jungkook stood still for a moment, processing the words, letting them sink in. His heart ached with something deeper than longing, something that felt like a slow, steady burn, one that had never truly gone out. For a second, he let himself hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, they could find their way back. That they could fix this, even after all the damage. Jungkook took another step forward, closing the gap between them. "Then why did you run? Why did you avoid me?" Taehyung bit his lip, his fingers tightening around the fabric of his shirt as he tried to form an answer. "I was scared." The words sounded so simple, but they carried the weight of everything that had happened. Scared of everything, of us, of what we could become, and of what might happen if we break again. Taehyung's voice wavered, but he didn't look away this time. His heart pounded as he admitted the truth, the fear that had gnawed at him for days, weeks, maybe even years. Jungkook exhaled sharply, his fingers twitching at his sides. "Do you think I'm not scared too?" His voice was quieter now, but no less intense. Do you think I don't lie awake at night wondering if I'll lose you again? Taehyung's breath caught. Jungkook took another step closer, the space between them barely existing now. But running away doesn't stop it from hurting. Taehyung. Avoiding me for 2 days didn't change anything, did it? Taehyung swallowed hard, shaking his head. No, it hadn't. It had only made the ache worse. Jungkook's gaze softened, and this time, when he lifted a hand, he didn't hesitate. His fingers brushed against Taehyung's wrist, a touch so light it sent shivers up his spine. Then stay. Taehyung's heart ached at the quiet plea in Jungkook's voice. Could he do this? Could he trust Jungkook again? Could he trust himself? He didn't know. But he knew one thing for sure, despite everything, he still wanted to try. Jungkook's expression didn't change, but Taehyung could see it, the way his fingers curled slightly, the way his throat bobbed when he swallowed. He wasn't unaffected. He was just holding it back. Scared of what Jungkook asked, his voice quieter now, almost careful. Taehyung let out a shaky breath, staring at the floor. Scared that if I let myself have this again, if I let myself have you again, it'll end the same way. Jungkook inhaled sharply. Taehyung, but Taehyung shook his head, cutting him off. We loved each other before, Jungkook. That didn't stop us from breaking. He looked up, his eyes dark with memories. What if we fall apart again? Jungkook's jaw clenched. His hands curled into fists at his sides before he let out a slow, measured exhale. Then we'll hold on tighter this time. Taehyung's breath hitched. Jungkook took a step closer. He was near enough now that Taehyung could feel the warmth of him, the quiet steadiness he had always carried. I won't lie to you, Jungkook said. I can't promise we'll never hurt each other. I can't promise we won't make mistakes. His gaze softened, something vulnerable bleeding into his voice. But I can promise that I won't let you go this time. Taehyung's heart ached. Because God, he wanted to believe that. But belief didn't erase the past. I don't know if I can do this again, Taehyung whispered. Jungkook lifted a hand, hesitated for just a second, then gently brushed his fingers over Taehyung's wrist. The touch was so light, so careful, it almost didn't feel real. You don't have to know right now, Jungkook murmured. Just, don't push me away again. Stay. Taehyung's breath shuddered out of him. Because wasn't that what he had always wanted? To be wanted. To be fought for. And Jungkook was still fighting. Even after everything. Even after Taehyung had run. Taehyung closed his eyes for a brief moment. Then, finally, he whispered, okay.